Good morning, and welcome back to our Monday morning brew. Before I jump right on in, I know it's summer and people have so many things that they're doing now. I just wanted to thank you. We have been having so much support from each of you, from sharing, posting, forwarding, all the things, and I want to thank you. I really do. You guys know that I take support so seriously, and I appreciate it whenever it's shown to in the work that we're doing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, so today, there was a quote that I posted about a year ago, and over the past year, I've had people remind me of that quote that it has stood out to them, and I wanted to bring it up today because I felt very strongly that whoever's listening today, whether this is for you directly or for someone in your life, that this would be a good fit for where you are or for where someone else is right now in your life. And the quote basically said that if you find yourself in a rut, don't furnish it. So often we can find ourselves in situations where we are moving and rolling and things are going great, and then things pause, and it's like we can't get out of neutral. It's kind of like the wheels are turning but the car ain't moving, right? There are times where we could be really close to someone, relationships, friendships, colleagues, whatever it might be, and you feel like everything's growing and blossoming, and then there's a pause and you can't figure out what's that pause. And oftentimes in that pause, in that time where you're in that rut, things are not really moving, we can have a tendency. I'm not saying this is all encompassing. Let me change that statement. There may have been times where you furnished it, you sat in that rut, you started to make excuses in that rut, or maybe you started feeling like, well, maybe I wasn't meant to, and then all these things start assailing our mind, or start assailing the things that are really not true about the situation, and we furnish it with our doubts, we furnish it with our fears, we furnish it with our insecurities, we furnish it with things that are not true, and before long that rut becomes something much more deeper. And so I'm gonna read exactly what I wrote on that particular post, but I also wrote something expanding it. And I would love to hear your thoughts on whenever you were in a season that felt like, man, I'm in a rut. What did you do? What did you do? And what I would love to challenge you on, for those who definitely love the post and share feedback on these kind of questions, is not so much just, hey, I just chilled, I just kind of walked through it. Like, really walk us through what you did when you felt yourself in a rut. Did you um, reset yourself? Did you go someplace to bring back creativity? Did you reach out to the person? Did you come up with new ideas, new ways of doing things? What did you do to get yourself out of rut? What I wrote when I put that post was, if you fall into a rut, hit a setback, have a temporary pit stop, or if it feels like you are moving backwards and not forward, whatever it is, don't reside where your rut is. Being in a rut is a great time to reassess, review, eliminate, and then move forward. And I said, don't allow it to take you places that you were never designed to go. A lot of times sitting in a rut, furnishing it, being comfortable with it can take you to places where you didn't want to go. It can take you to a season of lack. It can take you to a season of relationships not moving forward. It can take you to a season where things that you thought you had conquered can come back roaring in the season of a rut. And so here's another way I wanted to kind of expand it differently. And again, would love to hear your thoughts on this. When you've ever been in a season, what did you do? And I wrote here, life has a way of throwing us into ruts, those seasons where progress feels slow, setbacks feel kind of personal, and you begin to question if you're even on the right path. You also start questioning even about the relationships that are in your life. Whether it's a temporary pit, stop, a detour, or a full-on reversal, don't mistake where you are for where you're meant to stay. That is a big difference. Where you are doesn't mean this is where you're supposed to stay. A rut isn't your residence. It's not your identity. It's simply a moment, a signal that it's time to pause, reassess your direction, review what's working, what's not, eliminate what no longer serves you, and then rise again with renewed clarity. And I'm going to pause here for a second. The reason why I wanted to share this today is because we're in a season of summer where people are birthing new ideas, creating new things, expanding relationships, all the different things. And oftentimes when something feels new, fresh, exciting, and all the things, there are seasons where that can pause. And sometimes in that pause, we can mistake a pause for just simply that, a pause, but not a rut. And not a rut. And I know that I might sound like I'm saying this over and over and over. It's because I am. I want to really encourage you not to make it a place of residence, not set shop up there. because I see too many people stop from the first setback. Or maybe you've had a couple of different setbacks. I've seen people stop really progressing because they feel like, well, nothing's working. I've tried all these different kind of things without really reassessing and saying, well, maybe I tried this in the wrong season. Maybe this wasn't the right moment for me to launch this. Maybe I should have launched it in the fall. Maybe this wasn't the right moment for me to dive into this particular new thing. Maybe I should wait until this is set up first. Like a lot of times we think and we make a resident of our ruts, of our situations, of mistakes, of things that we haven't accomplished, and we make it become our truth, our state of being. We know it's just a moment. It's just a good time to reassess that maybe you just need to reposition what it is you're doing or reposition that relationship. The danger isn't in falling into the rut, is in choosing to stay there. Don't let that place of frustration become familiar. Frustration can become familiar if you let it. Don't allow it to convince you that your dreams are too far gone or that your growth has reached its limit, because it won't. If you keep nurturing your growth, you will have it will never reach excuse me ultimate limit, because I believe if you stay in a place of growing faithfully, you'll always, always, always keep stretching and growing outside your comfort zones. And this is the last thing I wrote here was ruts can be revelations. Excuse me, ruts can be revelations in disguise. They force us to reflect, to reset, and to realign with what truly matters. Okay. So yes, take a breath, sit with the discomfort, because it ain't comfortable being in a rut. It isn't. Don't run from it. Sit with it, reassess, look at what it's supposed to teach you, but then get up. Rebuild, reimagine, reignite, because the rut was never meant to be your destination. It was only a reminder to reroute. And I hope that you take that with you, whether it's for you or for someone in your life, tag them or what have you. But oftentimes we have to be reminded maybe what's pausing right now in our life is meant to say, it's time to reroute, it's time to reassess, it's time to realign. But it doesn't mean that we're supposed to stay right here. It doesn't mean that we're not supposed to move forward in something. Oftentimes we just have to reroute, right? And clarify where we are a little differently. So I'm going to share this before I close. And I know this all too well. There was a season where if I hit a rut, especially early in my business, I would sit there and I would think, okay, I am not the best person in my speech, because many years ago, I had a huge issue, a struggle with you with stuttering sometimes when I started talking too fast. There were times where I thought, well, maybe I'm not this, maybe I'm not that, because things were going, and then it paused. Never once in that season did I stop and think, maybe what I'm doing in the season was not meant for this season. It took me a while to grow into that. It took me a while to stop beating myself up and thinking there's something wrong with me whenever I hit a rut. Because here's the thing. Every season demands something different from you. And what I learned over the years was, okay, I need to sharpen this particular thing about me. So this rut is teaching me how to sharpen my discernment, sharpen my marketing, sharpen my messaging. And when I was honest with myself in the seasons that I was in and not putting myself down, not building up a nice, comfortable place for me to sit in a pity party, I started to assess where I needed to grow. I started to be very clear on what steps I needed to take. And I said, you know what? Let me pack my bags, because this rut season is over, and let me keep it moving. And I've had to really work at that. I'm not saying it happened overnight. I'm not saying that there's times where it can probably rear its ugly head again and I have to quickly say, this is a rut. Nope. Let's get out of it. Let's shake it off. Let's keep moving. It's a conscious effort to commit to your growth. It's a conscious effort to say, I am not going to stay here. I am not going to be comfortable, and I'm not going to allow this to frame who I am. I'm going to simply allow this to reroute me to get back on the path that I'm designed to go onto. And on that path, I'm going to keep growing, learning, pushing, building, and igniting everything that I'm called to do. So I just want to encourage you in doing that. And if you're finding yourself in that place and you're like, I don't know what that looks like to not keep being here, share that below. Or if you're not comfortable, reach out in DMs. We have many people that do that and just want some advice. And I'm not saying that I always have the best advice. I can only give you my lived experiences and things that I've walked through, because I've been through these seasons before. And I know what it's like to make a choice not to live in it. You're too good for that. You're better than that. You're called forward into too many things to stay rooted in things that no longer serve you. You stay, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. And you also are too gifted. And I believe that every person listening to this today is too gifted to make a residence in something that's supposed to be temporary, something that's supposed to be just a resting stop to reassess and move forward. Okay. I look forward to hearing your comments, and I hope that you all have an amazing week, a really good week. And I hope that your summer is going well as well. All right. So I look forward to seeing your comments, and I will be hopping on into the section later on today. And let me end on this one more thing. It just kind of popped up in my spirit. One of the things that ruts are never designed to do is to strip you of the growth that you've already had in your life. It's not meant to send you backwards. Okay. It's not meant to make you feel like you don't have a way forward. Don't allow a temporary season make you forget how far you've already come. I don't know who that was for, but yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. All right, y'all have a great day, and I can't wait to see your comments a little bit later. All right, take care.